introduce our mentors. Introduce our mentors properly this time. And so our mentors are, we have Kate Pam Semlek. She's also our entrepreneur in residence. And she's the founder of the Stalwart Group. She's a business consultant and social entrepreneur, speaker, trainer, and coach. So we're delighted to have you on board with us all the time. And her specialties include sales, client relationship management, strategic marketing, market research, project management, e-marketing, securities analysis, negotiation, and presentation skills. So it's a lot that she has to offer. So always jump in or to do office hours with her. Also with us tonight is Samuel Akini Ajiboyede, our founding mentor, our favorite mentor in FI Abuja. He's the CEO of Zido. Zido is Africa's #1 digital freight broker. He's a serial entrepreneur, an early stage investor, product strategist, international keynote speaker with a passion for innovation and technology. And he was formerly a partner with General Electric, where he redesigned the hybrid power system of since 2002. He has been on a limitless entrepreneurial journey. And whilst he was in uni, he started a business alongside his studies. So he founded Fleet Partners in 2015-14, a leasing and corporate car sharing and bus sharing company. And in 2017, he started Matatu, now Zido, a transport. So, I mean, just Google Samuel Akini and also jump on the call to have office hours with him. Also with us is Shakirat Anima Shao, who is the founder of Enricher FinTech. So Shakira doubles as a mentor and also an alumni from Cohort 3 of Founder Institute Abuja. She's a global Islamic digital crowdfunding platform. Enricher FinTech is a global Islamic digital crowdfunding platform which connects SMEs to investors using a mobile app. This was the product she built during her program in the accelerator program last year, with several payment gateways that promotes financial inclusion. She's a product of CISI UK in partnership with the Nigerian Stock Exchange Academy and with years of experience in Islamic finance administration. She's also an Oracle database and SQL certified professional and a Founder Institute Abuja alumnus, which we are very, very proud to bring an alumni today to also mentor you and share more experience. Yeah, and also we have Dr. Larry Phillips, who is a career sales marketing professional. His experience has spanned over years in the FMCG, banking, and telecoms industry, stimulating and dynamic work environments that have ensured growth and development. Founder of many startup companies, avid angel investor. So happy to have you all here and you're welcome. So as the others join in with introductions, so welcome on board, Samuel, welcome Kate, welcome everybody, and welcome founders. So I hope you're all geared and ready to session. So over to you, Mrs. Semlek.
Okay, welcome everybody to this session. We've all been introduced. What I would ask each and everyone to do as usual is to put your company name. I see Emeka Show Your Trade. I see Balogun Tornado Tech. So if you haven't done that, I see Abubakar Ghana Outliers, SMS Protect, that's Oluwadara Benle. So if you haven't done so yet, for the sake of the mentors, because we haven't been working, some of us have not been working as closely with you as Lady Ajuma. So it would be good for us to be able to identify you with your product. Thank you, John Akambi. I can see Christas. And so please, you'll do well to do so very quickly.
How can we do that, please? How exactly?
Just rename yourself. So I have renamed myself a number of times since we started the session. I also have my name as Mentor and EIR. So you can get to know me as well. Yeah, so right click on at the top of the icon on your name, either on the sidebar or on the picture or your video. There are 3 little dots on the top right hand corner. If you click on the 3 little dots, you will see at the bottom, edit profile picture, rename, just rename yourself and add that either in bracket or slash or whichever way you choose to do that. Okay. So can I have the working group president? If you're a working group president, can we see show of hands ready for your presentation for the groups? So we can move quickly. We're here for a while for your reports. You have 2 minutes. So Samuel Ando, I see you first. Samuel, then John Akombi. How many working groups have we got? Okay, so I see 4 people, right? So I will go in the order that I see. You have 2 minutes for your presentations. So I will start with Samuel Ando, Frazella, then John Akombi, Christas, then Lawrence Atta, Haley Date, and Kwame O, Hire a Service. In that order, you have 2 minutes to present your report. Yes? Is somebody keeping time? Is Catherine there? Oh. So you let us know when the time is up. So it's 7:15 now. Samuel Ando, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. My name is Samuel Andopra, and I'm the president of Explorers Working Group. From last week, we had 2 people who dropped out. There were 2 females also, Aduke and Hilu, and we discussed about the reason why they went out. We were trying to reach them, we couldn't get them. But for Aduke, she came back and she explained that with some periods of time that she's having, she can't really go on with the program. That was all that she said. And we had our first meeting for the customer development on Saturday, and the second meeting was held on Monday, and it was always on 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Nigeria time, and 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Ghanaian time. And we basically discussed about the assignment and the progress of everyone on the assignment, whatever everyone is doing, their progress, where they have gotten to, and we brainstormed around it. And we also discussed that if we are supposed to do feedback, we are supposed to send our results of the feedback to each and every one email for us to see, so that we give our feedback to them, to each and every one, to have the feedback and do that assignment. And that was it. And I ended up summarizing the report and sent to the directors on yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. That was 2 minutes. Thank you for the feedback. for the report on your group. John Akombi, your time starts now.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So we had our first meeting on Thursday, November 3. So we discussed about the strategies to approach the potential customers for our customer problems. So one of the strategies is to attend public events with mass gatherings, especially for a more generalistic problems, where you can meet customers and, you know, just pick them randomly and interview them, or join social media communities to speak to members on the customer problems and the solution you are trying to offer. So on Monday, 7th November, we had our second meeting where we reviewed the eliminated ideas and the remaining ideas and the key assumptions of the remaining two ideas. We also discussed how to deal with emotional roller coasters. So we came up with some strategies to help us deal with emotional roller coasters, like regular exercise, eating healthy, listen to music, watch movies, visit families and friends, sleep, take water, and all those things, you know. We are just three in my group, and this customer development week has been stressful for all the team members, but our heads are up. We are coming out stronger. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you for that feedback. I have to apologize to all of you. I should have hosted an office hour in the last week, but I was extremely busy. So I'm going to fit it somewhere. This month is actually quite a busy month for me, this time of the year, but I'm going to try to schedule one day in a week, maybe in the coming week. In the chat group, what you would help me do, if it is related to customer, any area where you're finding a challenge as we go along, and you feel that we can have an office hour, just let me know, because when I'll just host a general office hour and we can have that session just to make up for my time. If that's okay, give me a thumbs up. Let me know we're cool. Am I getting a thumbs up? Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Luadara. Thank you, John. Okay, I have a majority thumbs up, so we're good. Thank you very much. Okay, now I can't tell the difference between the thumbs up and the hands up. Okay, I see Kwame. Kwame Hire Service, you're going next. Kwame is enforcers, isn't it?
Yes, we are the enforcers.
Okay, okay, so you can enforce your reports now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kwame, and I'm the president for Enforcers. We didn't do anything different from the other people. The other people have said it has been a very tough week. Customer development was really tasking. The questions kept coming up in the group, but sometimes we didn't even have answers, you know. But we thank God we finished our assignments and finished our deliverables. I like that the previous president spoke about the emotional roller coasters. We listed some of those, and mine, I must say, is detoxing away from knowledge, or just even not active thinking. I said, where you just remove yourself from active thinking, you know, and I shared it with my group. We lost one person. One person dropped out, so we are 5 now, and that's it. We're very busy. We're a very busy group because we have 2 of our guys who already run their businesses. So our communication style is mostly chat. So if someone had a problem, he will just put it on the chat, and then we will talk over the course of the days. So we're doing well. We're looking forward to finishing the program strong. Thank you. Hello, is it me, or can I? Hello? Is it me, or I don't hear?
Okay, so it's the next. You're done with your report, Kwame. So the next person can come on. Lawrence.
Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening.
and our group president for the influencers. And the week has actually been a very busy week because this current assignment is a very, very tasking one. It requires a lot of field work, it requires a lot of customer engagement. And so far so good. I've been able to get to a considerable distance in it. We had a meeting. We had a meeting on Wednesday, I think, or was it Thursday? And we were supposed to have a follow-up meeting yesterday, but it did not hold. So we're hoping to have that today. But basically, we have just been pushing. We had 2 people drop from our group, but that was at the start of the program. So we have not had anyone drop recently. We are 3 in the group right now, and we're doing well. Thank you. Hello.
I was bumped out briefly. Okay, so yes. So Lawrence is still giving his report? Okay.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay then. So thank you all for the feedback we're getting from the reports, and it's good to see that you're all working together. So like I've always reiterated, the program is about feedback, and so the working group provides that opportunity for peer learning. So there's a lot you can learn from each other and also strengthen one another during the program. So good to see you're all doing well. Balogo, okay. So thanks. So Balogun, you're next. Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be coming in on the flash team.
On flyers. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we had a meeting Fridays and these. So basically, we discussed about the customer development on.
You can't hear you well. I can't hear you. Your line is cracking. Okay. Continue.
Okay, so we hold our meetings on Fridays and Mondays.
Okay.
So on Mondays, we discussed about customer development, about ways we could actually help ourselves in the development stage while getting feedbacks on our assumptions and the roller coasters also. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Okay. That's all. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you very much for the report. You can put your hand down. You can lower your hand, Balogun. Thank you for the reports. Like Lady Achuma said, the essence, it's peer-to-peer learning is very key. And because it's a rigorous exercise, it's important that you look out for one another. I like the feedback from the person that talked about the emotional roller coasters, because it's possible to experience burnout. It's also, even in your entrepreneurial journey, those moments, it's not a straight graph at all. It's not even a consistent graph. It's going to be all over the place. And in those moments when you're at that low, it's good to have someone that you can share those experiences with. And that's the essence of the connection. So please continue to support one another. You will find this extremely valuable. Every time I look at a cohort and I have the opportunity to speak with them, I really wish that at the time that I started my own company, I had this kind of support system. I wish that there were programs like this that will help. What will happen is that you would be standing on our shoulders. The things that we found extremely difficult, you'll find easier because you have that support, you have a support system around you. So please leverage it. You will find it useful. In fact, it's not just for the program, even beyond the program. So thank you very much. Are we ready to go into our hot seats? I think we're a bit behind time now. It's 5:29 for our hot seats, and for our 1-minute presentations. Am I going to pick them randomly, or how do we go about it? Who is ready? Let me see, show of hands, who is ready? People will be reluctant to put their hand up now because they don't want to be called first.
Catherine, please share the list.
Yes, okay, so I see, okay, hot seats, I see the list. Okay, so I see, fantastic. Barnabas, are you ready to start? After Barnabas, we're going to have, let me just call the first 3 people, Barnabas, David, and Balogun, Babatunde Balogun. For the, just before you start, if for the EIRs and the mentors present, you have the link for the rating. We all have the link for the rating, if it can be shared to everyone that needs to have the link. See my, okay. All right, I think we're good to go. Your 1-minute pitch is, your 1-minute pitch starts now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, my company, Zwami Food, is building an online B2B2C marketplace for foodstuff supply and distribution to help foodstuff vendors buy inventory from farmers and food producers and to sell online on the marketplace to consumers and offline on Zwami foodstuff centers and other venues. The Nigerian agri-food supply chain is highly fragmented and very informal with multiple levels of intermediaries and over 95% of food sold in open air markets. This greatly increases transaction and inventory costs and makes shopping for foodstuff very difficult and time consuming. So Zwami is unifying the large fragmented source of supply into a single network by digitizing the supply chain, making it easier and cheaper to buy and sell foodstuff. Now we have done a pilot, we've completed a pilot, we have built a working marketplace, and we have 958 farmer suppliers listed. We have onboarded over 25 online vendors. We also have on our waiting list 50 offline vendors, and we have on our waiting list again another 100 households for one of our proposed location for a foodstuff center. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barnabas. Let's see from the. Thank you, Zwami Foods. Okay. Can I get feedback from the mentors present? Let me.
Shakirat, Samuel, Larry,
Shakirat.
3 of them are here.
Okay. So Shakirat, okay. Can we get any comments for him?
Well, I think the little I would say is that the space you work is, well, a much needed one. However, you would have to ensure that both ends are properly plugged in, where you have, like this is like plugging in from the hand of suppliers as well as buyers. So you would have to ensure that you are strong on both ends, or at least you're able to collaborate well to make this a success. That's what I can say for now.
Okay, so can I ask how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 5? How would you rate the pitch? Is it 1, it's on the screen now, is it awful, as it's so bad, the company has very little chance of success, bad, okay, it has a lot of potential, but a lot of work, good, I'm interested in becoming an advisor, let's meet for coffee, amazing, I'm ready to invest now? How would you rate Barnabas?
Well, much as I would say that the pitch still has a lot of room for improvement, I would rather want to be an advisor to support you further, because I know that's a space that has a huge potential.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Madam Shakirat, for that feedback. Can I have a feedback from Samuel?
Okay,
Samuel?
can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Hello, it's great to always be here again. Thank you so much. Okay. So I think I didn't get it very well. So I think it's more like aggregating crops for basically I didn't get the concept very well. It's not very clear for me. But if it's about the farmer aggregating crop for farmer, I think most 2 things are the major problem. Some of them have problem with funding, some of them have problem with logistics. So if there's a way it can address the root cause and effectively it can be able to bring them together. That's my own contribution.
Okay, thank you. So how would you rate him?
From 1 to 10?
Yes, a 1 to 5, according to the mentoring rating.
Okay, I'll give him 3.
There's no 3. You have 1, 2, 4, 5. There's no 3. Yes.
I'll give him 2.
You give him 2. Okay, fantastic. Barnabas, that's giving you an idea of the level of work that you need to do. So lastly, Lanre, can we get your feedback?
Kate, would you let me pass on this one, because I came in towards the end of his speech. Yes, I heard a few things at the end, but I think I'll be unfair to him if I have to rate him based on the little that I had. So if you let me pass on this one, I'd be delighted. Just to be fair.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right. Lady Ajuma, would you like to give a feedback on this one as well? Okay. I mean, for my feedback, I would go on the same lane with Shakirat. I would give you a 4. Reason being that agribusiness, what you're doing is a bit, could be disruptive, because you're doing what the marketing boards of those days, I don't know if you're familiar with what the marketing boards used to do. They used to aggregate food to be able to deal with the problem of seasonality. But you gave a lot of statistics. You did not really identify prevalent problems that farmers face and consumers face. And seasonality is very key. So in fact, just by addressing that, would be something that would be very interesting to any investor. So I would give it a 4. I think that, numbers are good, but also you have to make them as relatable to the environment that you're dealing with as possible, if it makes sense. Barnabas, I see your hand is up. You want to respond?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry I have to respond because it seems, I don't know, it looks as if I was not properly heard, and I think it would be unfair for me for ratings because one didn't hear me quite clearly. Now, let me start with you. You say I did not quite relate the problem. The second paragraph of my speech is I related the problem. I started with what the company is doing and for whom the company is doing it. And then I related the problem, and then I ended with what we're doing. So I think if the mentor didn't quite hear me, there should be an opportunity for me to be heard so that there will be a proper rating.
Okay, I mean, I believe we heard, and we have the back end, which talks about what you do relating farmers, women. You've signed up 958 suppliers that you have said. But what I'm saying is, in terms of general problems that I identified, yes, you talked about a problem, solving the problem of costs. I mentioned seasonality and other things. And there's a lot of back-end work that you need to do in terms of convincing how you do that connection, okay? But your project is very good. Food business at any level, agriculture at any point in the value chain is always good business. But then there's a lot that you need to be able to deal with in convincing, especially since you're at the bottom of the pyramid. That's just the feedback that I have to give you. So, but if you want to talk more about it, we can host office hours for that. My first degree is in agri-economics, by the way. So it's something that, hits near home. But let's move on, okay? And we can take that off this particular session, okay? Well done, Barnabas. David, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn on my timer. So my company, Trout Technologies, it's developing a loan solution that basically helps individuals and small businesses with borrow up to $10,000 US using their assets as the collateral. Automation makes customer service very consistent and effective. Now, what you'd find is that a lot of small businesses and individuals aren't able to borrow because they don't have assets. The large corporates do have assets, so it's very easy for them to borrow. But what we're doing is we're basically lending money, whatever the asset they have, no matter how small it is, with the hope that these individuals or businesses can grow their assets and then be able to borrow more in future. It's estimated at $500 billion market. Thank you.
Okay. Fantastic. can we start with Dr. Lanre now? Feedback from Dr. Lanre, so that the first can be, the last can be the first this time.
Okay. Okay, so David, I'm not sure how much time you had to do the pitch, but I just wanted to get more clarity. What does this company do? This company gives out loan, or this company gives out assets to small businesses to be able to access loans?
So it gives out loans to businesses and individuals that is secured with their assets. So if they don't pay back, their assets are sold.
So what do you do differently from a bank? Or what do you do differently from a microfinance bank? I'm just asking.
No, that's fine. So what we do differently is we give loans to that are secured by stocks, which is an area that banks have traditionally shied away from. Both
Did you say stocks? Stock as in S-T-O-C-K? Okay.
Nigerian stocks, only Nigerian stocks and shares. Yes. Okay. And also our processes are more efficient. We don't have a relationship manager that introduces delays into the process.
Okay. I mean, just feedback from me. What I would love to see, and this is just an advice from me, what I would love to see is, and that market is large enough for you to have something called a USP, okay, a unique selling proposition. What I would love to see is for you to take a look critically again about the problems inside of that market, you know, and then you'll be able to develop a USP. A USP is what separates you from other organizations in that sector. Okay, because I'm not able to see your USP very clearly now, you know, at the moment. So it will be nice for you to work towards having a USP. And if you have a USP, it would separate you. In fact, just asking you, you'll be able to tell me why I should patronize you and why I shouldn't patronize a lot of the online lenders or a lot of the microfinance banks, because a lot of them have also simplified their processes. And I hope that you take this as feedback from me.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, can I go now?
Yes, before you go, but I just wanted Dr. Lanre to give us the rating. 1, 2, 4, or 5.
A part of me really wants to give 1, but because I like David and I like his voice, I'm just kidding. So I'll do it. I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2 because I think it needs a lot of work. And David, I'm just giving you genuine and honest feedback. And yeah.
No, that's great. I'll certainly take the feedback and work on it drastically.
And hopefully we can talk. We can find time and then book a session and let me shed more light.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Lanre, for that feedback.
My pleasure.
Quite on point. Shakirat, please, you can take your feedback as well now as well.
Okay, well, I think there is a bit of mismatch. The population, what's the word now? Those that have the stock that you want to use as collateral, have you tried to look at what percentage of Nigerians and what kind of amount of the stock that they hold? And have you equally looked at how many of these are actually SMEs that you're looking for? So I'm not sure the population holding stock at the same time the SMEs that you're looking for. So you may have to look at that. You have to look at where the points of
Sorry, where the point of what is it cut out? Where the point of what? Sorry.
Intersection.
Okay. Okay, so just to clarify, so the total assets are real estate, treasury bills, mutual funds. So just to clarify what these assets that we lend against are, the assets are real estate, that's property, mutual funds, stocks, fixed deposits, bonds, about 5 of them. But again, it's good to match to see if it tallies with the small business sector. Because when I was doing my customer development, a lot of the small businesses, they don't even know what shares is or how to invest in it. So that's a very good point.
Exactly why I'm calling your attention to this. So you're going to be telling me to use stock as collateral, and I don't actually own stock, then what's the point? So if you are going to go back to the same properties, landed properties and the likes, and that's the same thing the banks and the microfinance banks, like you mentioned, are doing. So that may not be something quite unique. And another, and if you want to jettison that, the next question you ask is, okay, how do I protect my fund? And how much of this fund, how much investors are willing to actually go this route? So that's the first part. You need to look at viability of this, of this, call it an idea or a product at first. And secondly, you want to look at how do you attract SMEs to actually take in loan. If you look at the interest rates, or let me say the inflation rates about now is so big that I'm wondering how many people will be willing to put their money down into SMEs versus the cost of managing loans to SMEs. It's a very volatile environment. So you have to look at something, probably still fine-tune your, I wouldn't know what led you to this idea. There must be something that inspired you. So you may need to think it further and come up with a much more refined approach to solving the problem you probably have identified. That's my take.
Thank you.
Shakirat. What rating would you give it?
Maybe a 2, to be general.
Okay, you have a generous 2 here. Yeah. Okay. Does Samuel have any feedback here? Samuel, do you have any feedback, or do we move on? I think the 2 mentors that have given the feedback have covered pretty much what, once you are able to sort that your USP, and I think a clear problem definition, because the minute you do not define the problem properly, the mismatch that Shakira identified, okay, and securing your funds, those are key areas that you really need to look at. And if you look at it further, you might have to, redefine your approach as well. So I agree with their feedback and with them on this. So we'll look forward to you refining it and coming back to us. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Babatunde.
Yes, I'm here.
You are here. Are you ready?
Yes.
So those are the first 3 that will be presenting. After Mr. Babatunde, the next 3 people that will be presenting would be Tombari, Afolabi Oguntuase, and Onengi Foria. Apologies if I don't pronounce it well, Stephen George. Okay, in that order. So Babatunde, your time starts now.
My company, Tornado Tech Limited, is building software products for students in tertiary institutions, researchers, and small, medium, and large-scale business enterprises. Our products are solving issues regarding research and data documentation, data tampering, and analysis among students and business enterprises across Africa. Starting in Nigeria with over 1.8 million students and 3.1 million registered companies, we took our first step to solving the issues of human research with surveys, questionnaires, and this led us to our first product, ResearchGains. With ResearchGains software, we are coming up with a completely automated system with low cost and high benefits to carry out surveys, business researches remotely, while targeting respondents' demographic data such as location, gender, etc., and get responses within a few minutes.
That's my alarm going. Your time is up.
Wow. I think maybe it's a lag time. I think it's a lag time, but so I'm done.
You're done. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much. Can we have
Yeah.
feedback, please? Can we have feedback?
Can I go?
Who's going first? Samuel,
Can
are
I
you
go?
ready to go now?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Please.
good.
Please.
Okay,
Go
okay,
ahead.
quick one. I just need to ask you some few questions. First of all, what are you actually providing? What's the solution?
Okay, we are building software products for students in tertiary institutions, researchers, small, medium, and large-scale enterprises.
To do what?
To help them to solve the issues as regards data documentation, data tampering, and analysis among students and business enterprises across Africa.
I really don't get you. How do you make money? How does it benefit them? Or what are the challenges they are facing?
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Students face challenges such as cost, time, and security when it comes to location-sensitive surveys. They have to travel to that location to carry out time, money. So on our platform, we are building automated system where remotely you can be in your house and target your demographic data. You can target gender-sensitive surveys. You can target location. And while these surveys appears to those people you targeted for them to fill those surveys with incentives.
Okay, so you basically drive that incentive with local people to provide those data, am I right?
Hello, I can't hear you.
I say you drive those incentives to get local people to do all of this.
Those who create the survey actually also pay for, with respect to the number of respondents they need and the number of questions they actually want to carry out.
So who pays you?
The surveyors, those who are creating the surveys.
Okay. For me, I think you have a good product. I think I've seen something like that in Kenya. It's a good thing. In fact, if you make it an open research, you can even get a lot of international community that needs data. So, but you are not able to sell it well. So what you mean is that one can stay in his house and do any kind of research. Okay. I don't think you look at it very well. Will students be able to pay your cost? Okay, will they able to pay what you're looking at, all of that? If it's cheap enough or reasonable enough, maybe some of them can pay. But I can tell you there's a lot of international community that needs local data that could also serve them. So look at who you're serving and see if you can make meaningful value to them. For me, I think you're on a good track. Well done.
So Samuel, what rating would you give him?
Because of his, I really looking for somebody to give 4 because I started with 2. But the presentation is in a good environment, but the presentation is not. I'm not picking it very well. I have to. I will give it 2.
Okay.
Just to encourage you to improve next time.
Okay, so Babatunde, you have 2 from Mr. Samuel. Back to Shakirat, you have any feedback on this?
Yes, I do. I struggled with understanding the products myself. And immediately I heard data research, my ears were up. And I was looking forward to, a fantastic pitch that would probably say some details into, okay, as a student, this is what it offers you, or as a researcher or whoever. But it was basically being academic about it. So the space is good. The products may have a huge potential, but the pitch is 1.
Okay, so what rating would you give?
I answered already.
Oh?
I won't give a pitch more than a 1.
A 1, okay. Dr. Larry, want to give your feedback?
Okay. So for me, on the contrary, I listened attentively. Immediately I heard research, it meant a lot to me. And maybe because I can resonate with this product. I remember when I was doing my PhD, if I had if I had this kind of product, I'll be most delighted, you know. So I could resonate with it. And for me, there was, and this is just talking from my perspective, there was clarity in the pitch, you know. I could hear what he was saying, I could understand the product, but then again, like I said, this is a product that resonates well with me, you know, and I could also get the clarity in terms of the market size, you know, and I could get clarity in terms of the demographics of the market as well. I remember hearing him mention things around students, and I think you put 1.8 million. So for me, there was a bit of clarity, and I didn't even waste a lot of time to give him a 4 already in the scoring.
So fantastic. Thank you very much for that feedback. You have a 4 there. I would go with a 2 on my own feedback because, again, I studied, when I was doing my master's, I did research and I needed local data from Nigeria. And getting the data was a problem. That was in 2011. Fast forward to this year, my sister was doing her PhD and we had to send people with iPads and stuff to collect data across IDP camps from the UK, because so clearly there's a problem, okay? But in terms of the presentation, don't forget, you're trying to get somebody to invest, okay? You're not, and the investor wants returns. So I'm not quite sure, on knowing the logistics, the terrain that we're in now, I'm not quite sure that you've been able to communicate that as succinctly as you should. So that's where, you know, the work really needs to happen. Okay.
Actually, you know, when it comes to data and all, there are lots of, I believe there are lots of technical terms that needs to be shared. And if someone is actually not into the research field, they actually don't see the need and they might not actually try to comprehend what I'm trying to say.
Yes, so that's why you need to learn how to pitch to anybody, because some investors are not necessarily in the research fields, just like the moderator has said. They just want a return for that, and they just need to know what this good idea is all about. They don't need to know so much deeply into that sector. Okay. So your pitch needs to be refined. I will score you a 1. So during office hours, book office hours with me, I'll teach you how to pitch.
Thank you.
Okay. You know, Balogun you're a researcher yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I love academics. Okay, but I'm a computer engineer.
So you see that, so you see it's showing. It's just like artists, and sometimes they're so passionate about their crafts, you know, but what this accelerator program, what this program that you're attending is going to help you learn is to be able to separate that passion from the business side of things, because you are translating your passion into a business. So you have to find the right balance and just say, okay, you know, and find the right balance. And you must learn to appeal to even an uneducated investor. It's money you're after, so keep your eye on the money. Yes?
All right, thank you.
All right, all good. Thank you very much. Okay, I think after Babatunde, we have Tombari, right? Or am I skipping somebody? Tombari.
Yes, I'm here. Should I go ahead?
Okay, Tombari, you're the one who's not feeling too well. Okay,
yes,
so
sorry, just have a bit of a headache.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right, your time starts now.
Thank you. So have you ever wondered that with over 150 universities, federal, state, and private universities in Nigeria, there is still a widening gap in the university industry communication or collaboration? This obviously has left the African energy industry in dire need of the intellectual capital and research orientation of the academia. and likewise the academia in their need of the industry's practical experience, funding, and dogged focus. Sadly, most of us are products of this situation, including myself. I like to think about this as a case of someone with a bread, another with butter, and both want to eat sandwich. So Cypher Christian Learning and Development Limited is developing a digital platform to help university researchers and energy industry professionals in Africa improve collaboration and reduce information asymmetry with a gamified learning experience. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Tom Barry. Okay, let me stop this, sorry. Your time has just ended with a gamified learning experience. So I was listening to you and I was waiting for the next thing and you said thank you. So, but let's get feedback from Shakira. Would you like to go first here? Or
not yet?
Not yet. Okay. Dr. Larry.
Okay, let me attempt if somebody will get too angry with me. I'll be very true to you. You sounded like a newscaster. It didn't sound like a pitch to me. It sounded like reading from a book. So do you have a good product? I think yes. Is there a good market for it? Yes. But you know, you passed it on without any emotions. I agree there was a bit of questioning and storytelling in the beginning, but you need to be able to pitch better. So you might need to spend some time with Ajuma, who's graciously offered to teach you guys how to pitch. So I think you just need to pitch and maybe even speak better, because there will be times when you just meet people in places where you never expected that you'll meet them. So you should be able to pass on this message much more better than you've done it now. In fact, I can almost certainly say that you were reading it from a book in front of you that we're not seeing. That's how it sounded, you know. So because if it was a proper pitch, there'll be undulation in your voice. It seemed like just something you were reading through, and so that's just my only feedback. It's the pitch itself that I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with the content.
That rating sounds like it's hovering between 1 and 2.
No, it's 2. It's 2. It's not 1.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Larry, for that feedback. Samuel?
Yes, I think a good pitch, but for me, I think one of the things that they all have to focus on quickly is to identify the problem and what they're solving.
True.
So that we don't just get carried away by this. I think there's something that he's trying to solve, but if you can answer let me talk to him briefly. What are you solving? What are you solving?
Okay, so the problem we want to solve is to bridge the university industry gap. So they don't talk to themselves. There's a wall in between both of them. And so we see how can we break down this one and let them talk to themselves, because the academia is producing products for the industry and the industry is not able to use those products. So how can we break
quick one. How do you make money? Maybe that will also.
All right. So first of all, what we want to do is to see how do we create that value, and then in able to capture that value, we believe that we can make money actually by offering, like what we learned the last time, the group of customers that have the higher pain points. So now that could be either needing to subscribe to be able to get a particular service. There's also going to be learning and development, information or knowledge sharing on the platform. And so that's also a source of revenue. So it's more like, I call it a penometer. The more they pay, the more they, how you graduate it, like basically a platform business.
Yeah, but I honestly want to tell you to be careful, okay? Because this is your first venture, am I right? Or you've done business before?
Yes, we've done business before, but not in a platform. We've not a platform business.
Check it very well and think it worth your while, because I'm still seeing, Nigeria is not a place that is research driven like that. Okay. Me, I was even thinking maybe you want to get IT student for corporation. I would have just said that is lovely. But take your time and look at it very well and do research more into what you're trying to provide and see if there's really a big market for it. Thank you.
Okay, so Samuel, what would be your rating?
2.
2. Okay. So let me just give you an opposite feedback. Yeah, because I operate in the oil and gas industry. And
Yeah.
last year I attended the NCDMB conference,
Yeah.
which where houses all the major LOCs, IOCs, and all that. And that problem is a problem that NCDMB is looking to bridge as well. It is a problem in the industry. However, like Lanre said, the communication, the problem that you're trying to solve, because you talked about collaboration, you talked about knowledge management. So that kind of reminds me what Bloomberg, that's kind of the Bloomberg. Have you seen the Bloomberg? Have you interacted with the Bloomberg app? So check it out. So the Bloomberg app, right? It's a system that institutions buy, and you could see the president of Bloomberg, or any top Wall Street person. Once they're on the system, you can see them online. So it's a bit like a social media platform, a knowledge sharing platform. They also have the Bloomberg aptitude tests, where at different levels, just to help with employability. So industry people can see the graduates that would, that have the skill sets that they're looking for, and a bit like what you're trying to do. So maybe you certainly do need more research, but whether or not there's a market for it, though it's a niche market, there is a market for it, and you have potential paying clients, because the oil industry still has quite a number of years before the energy transition, and you will still be relevant even in that. So they have the capacity to pay the clients, especially the industry people, but how you do your pitch is the problem. So I would, because it's my industry, I would give you a 4 and say, let's talk some more and see how you can fine tune that idea. Shakirat, are you going or passing?
Well, I think I should just let it pass.
Okay, no problem, that's fine. Ajuma, do you have something to say here, or should we move on? Okay, so I think Tombari has received enough feedback to work with for the coming week, right? Let's not overload you with information. So thank you very much for that pitch. Okay, Afolabi Oguntuase.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you.
Did I pronounce it correctly? I didn't butcher your name. Fantastic. Okay. Are you ready with your pitch? Your time starts now.
My company, SMS Protect, is developing a SaaS mobile application that analyzes incoming SMS and check if the SMS contain any malicious link. According to TechSemo, over 261,000 spam texts are sent per minute, smashing the global threats that are carried out every day. Take, for example, Twilio, a global tech company, lost millions of dollars because an attacker used smishing technique to get access to his employees. Likewise, Uber, which we all knew, that took place just a little over a month ago. The same smishing attack was deployed to his employee to get access to its infrastructure. A major competition in this market is Truecaller, but what differentiates us is the way we analyze our SMS. We don't just check the number that sends the SMS, we analyze the context of the SMS. Our business model will be a subscription-based business model. We will be for both business to business and for business to consumer. Thank you.
Okay, well done, Afolabi. Okay, right, you did well with time. I would like to subscribe to that, your SMS. So, but let's get feedback from Shakirat. Would you want to go first now? Okay. Dr. Larry.
I'll be true. I didn't hear a lot of the things he said, not because I wasn't listening, but because I think your voice was muffled. What I've actually been doing after you spoke was I had to go back to read through the details online. So for me, I think you should just look for a way to pass on. And reading online, I could now see the proposition. It's something to stop harmful SMSs from getting to our phones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I could read through that, but I couldn't hear that when you were speaking. Your voice was somewhat muffled, and I don't know, maybe it's your current state, or maybe that's how you speak, or This is one that is going to be difficult for me to rate based on the pitch.
Okay.
But based on what I read, valid, but based on the pitch, it's difficult for me to rate because I didn't hear him. And not because I wasn't listening, because his voice was muffled. And I hope I'm not the only person. Otherwise, the problem will have to be with my ear.
Sincerely, your ears may not be the one with problem. I guess your ears are not the problem here.
Okay, I feel better.
The way he went about it was quite, I think he was very conscious of the time. And so the communication was not quite clear. And I was going to ask, does it mean you are going to protect her, see Eugene in the office, or what way would you go about this?
So what we currently have in place is that we have a mobile app. So when you are sent an SMS, we analyze immediately before you see the SMS, we analyze it. Then we check the context of the SMS. So if there is like we have some certain keywords that are commonly used for phishing attacks, which we already have in our database, which we have used to train an AI model. So when you get an SMS, we analyze the SMS. So if certain keywords are there, or certain links to which were flagged previously, so we know for phishing attacks, we alert the user that so SMS is a phishing attack. Then we put it in a folder, should in case it was flagged wrongly.
Okay, so this is focused on SMS, or equally attends to emails and the likes, or just SMS?
No, this is, so we have a 4-stage road plan. So for the first stage, it's going to be SMS. Then the second stage, we'll start focusing to BEC and all that. But
okay,
the
so
first
what
stage is SMS.
Your mobile app to ensure that all SMS coming into a company comes through you. What measures do you want to put in place to give that what's the word now? The peace of mind that would want me to expose the whole of our system to your system, where everything that comes into our system, comes
data protection.
Yeah.
So this is where our partnership with telcos comes in. So we are partnering with various telcos, MTN and the likes, to work with them. So once we be able to secure that partnership, the protection won't come through us; it will come through the telcos. So once it will happen in the backend. So once the SMS is sent through the backend, we will do the analysis and we'll do the checking. They will not send you if it was called a folder link that's okay. An SMS was sent to you, and this SMS is suspected to contain a smishing attack. So you need to view the SMS in case, because AI is not 100% correct. So it could be a mistake that it was flagged as.
Okay. How important is SMS communication in an organization?
So okay, just like the example I gave, because it's to an organization, like most organizations don't chat through SMS chat. Most of us use Slack, but it's individuals, just like the example I gave of Twilio and Uber.
You want to deploy starting with SMS and then later email and all that. I would think that starting with email will actually be better, because more or less we all use email for official communications, and that may look like something much more viable. My opinion. I may be wrong.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that feedback. I'm missing the ratings though. Dr. Larry said it would be difficult and he just dodged giving any rating now. But
No, I actually did.
Can I make a contribution?
yes, please. I just want to get their ratings. Did you give it? What did you give him? Sorry.
1.
1. Okay. Madam Shakirat, what did you give him?
For the space for data protection is, or let me say, whatever in the cybersecurity space is, it's important. However, I think maybe where he's starting from, you have to change, or I don't know. But I think it's a fantastic idea. So I may give it 4.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Samuel.
Yeah, because it's part of the industry I've played in. I like his presentation. Okay. And I think he's a software guy. So you want looking at it more technically than commercials and making profit and all of that. There's something he mentioned I want to confirm. You said your competitor will be who?
Currently, our competitor is Truecaller.
Yeah, because when you say your competitor is Truecaller, Truecaller, what is solution that is providing is not to track SMS. Are you aware?
Yeah, that's what I said. What they do, they also like flag what's called smash all those kind of spam ticks. But the way they do is that they check the number. If the number, so they do, they check the number.
Just a second. You see, I want to really help you. I love what you're doing. Okay, you could actually.
Thank you.
If you have a background of writing code and all of that, there's a lot of things you can do. But you need to be able to get the product right. Okay? If you think Truecaller is your competitor, that particular function is an added function. That's not what Truecaller is selling. Truecaller tries to tell you upfront who is calling you.
Who is calling you, yeah.
And I would think you should look at your value proposition or your product. What product are you creating? Now, these SMS thing can be added value. Okay, it can be one of the things that don't bother so much. Look at Instagram. When TikTok started, people thought that TikTok would not succeed. But see from the angle, the proposition, and they were able to create something very fantastic. So look out time for us to talk in office hours. Yeah, but I can tell you, for me, I'll give him a 4. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So me, when I heard it at first, as per, all those people that will call you, those messages that you get, and they will say, even from WhatsApp groups, and those people that will tell you to click a link, and all those hackers and things like that, and they begin to send messages to people from your phone. Those are the kinds of things that you're going to take care of, Abi.
Yeah.
So to a lay non-IT person, I love it. Okay. So I'm representing the investor who doesn't really know. But my question is, how is the money going to come back? If I invest in it, where would the money come from? How much?
So like I said, our business model is going to be a subscription-based model. So it's going to be a SaaS, a subscription-based model. So every month, the users will pay a token. So I get to decide on the exact amount yet. So actually trying to work about some details. But it's going to be a subscription-based model. So every month, our users will be paying a certain amount to use our service.
Okay. So for that, I will give you a 4. I will hold on to my money first until you have discussed with the telcos, because I don't know whether Truecaller is integrated how they, but I know that anything that you have to discuss with the telcos, they will get their own profit first. So the margins are not usually it has to be a huge turnover thing. So I would like to see that financial aspect more in your presentation.
Let me ask one question before I go.
Yes.
Let's subscription. I think it's better you leverage on adverts. and let him try to avoid the telecom. We'll talk more in office hours. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And then the last feedback I'd like to give you is regarding your presentation, because if two of the mentors that are to give you feedback could not understand you, maybe the words are somewhere in your chubby cheeks, I don't know. So now you're the chief marketing officer of your business. So you must be able to communicate it well to whoever. So if I were you, I would consider public speaking or communication presentation skill, okay, that will help with my communication, my nuances, and would help me to keep the attention of the audience. Since maybe, I don't know whether it's the accent or the over swag that is worrying you, but I'm just joking, just so, you know, so but you concentrate on developing yourself and your ability to communicate what you want to do. Because as long as you're in business, you will continue to pitch your product. And yeah, I will tell you for a fact, people will not waste their time if they can't understand.
Yeah.
So you have to make it as easy for people to understand as possible. Okay, thank you. All right, we're moving, hashtag we move. Who is next?
Yeah, I think
Onengiefori.
Can you hear
Stephen
me?
George. Yes, I can hear you. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
The name is Onengiefori.
Onengiefori. Yes. Is there a short form?
I think that's the short form.
Onengiefori.
Yes, it's the short form.
Okay.
The complete name.
All right. Name. Your time starts now.
Okay, so my company, Rework Technologies Limited, is building a tech institute to help reduce youth unemployment, which stands at over 40% in Nigeria and 60% across Africa. Meanwhile, the tech industry is having massive skill shortage issues. We are using practical, project-based, and one-on-one mentoring skills to raise world-class talent to fill this skill shortage, thereby reducing unemployment. The institute is running currently with over 500 persons interested, over 180 persons enrolled, and over 40 graduates with 90% placement success. We have introduced, of course, monthly based payments to enable learners pay as they go monthly. And currently we are running classroom-based model. And we've recently also introduced the remote learning. And for this, we've seen students from China, Poland, UK, and other states in Nigeria. So thank you.
Thank you, Onengiefori. You've done well with your use of time. Time has just gone off now. Can we get feedback from the mentors? Who will go first here now? Dr. Larry? I struggle to.
I was thinking we needed to be gender sensitive.
Okay. Madam Shakirat. Dr. Larry, why don't you go ahead before she
pass it on? Yeah, so George, in my opinion, I think you did a relatively good job. I could understand precisely what you want to do. I didn't quite understand where the money was. I know that people would pay for subscribing to your school, right?
Yes.
Okay, what of the people that you are now giving this tech talent to? Are they paying as well?
Over time, they pay, but for now, just to build the credibility, we give to them for free at the moment. But it's part of the model, the business model that we grow.
Wow, because I thought that was where your money would actually reside. The people you are passing on talents to.
Yeah, mostly for now, we rely on the students, but over time, as our credibility grows.
You would identify talents that can't pay for your service, but they are actually good because what you're doing is scouting. You're a scout, so to speak, like a football scout. You're sourcing for talents to sell to the big clubs in the big leagues. You know, so in sourcing, in scouting for those talents, there are times that those talents can't pay you. But of course, once you know that there's money at the other end, you can afford to take in somebody that cannot afford to pay for your cost, but you're sure that you can make a lot more money from feeding the industry. So just think about the modeling and then think about how to make money, because at the end of the day, it's the money that pays your bills.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you very much.
it's a 4 for me.
It will be a 4 for you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is Shakirat back?
Yes, I am. I'm back.
Okay. Did you hear that? You have any feedback?
Well, I think I got a part of it. So you would have to look for the students, so to say, and you have to look for the employers.
Yeah.
Talking from experience from that sector, I should say that I have about 15 years of experience in the education skill-related space, and I can tell you that it's not an easy call to be the one to look for employer and be the one to look for students at the same time. So you may have to rather, I don't know, probably the model will be easier to push. Maybe at the beginning, looking for either of the two. But I can tell you, looking for employers and looking for students at the same time can be a lot of work, and having to train them again is another thing altogether.
So
why not?
Currently, we do more of looking for the students, because that's, if we're able to give credibility to the industry, they'll come most times on their own. So
okay, maybe at the moment focus on looking for students to train, and an industry to take from your pool that those that you have trained. So where is your focus? What type of skills are you giving to them?
We are giving, at the moment, we're giving web, which is full stack front end, and we're also giving data analytics, data science, and then machine learning.
I think I'm your customer, so we'll talk after the session to see if you're able to get me some of these guys to work with. Okay. Yes. So if you focus on that, I guess it's not a bad idea. And over time, employers on their own will come meeting you to say, give us this. Yeah. And eventually the whole cycle will complete.
Okay, thank you very much. So you're giving a what, Madam Shakira? A 4-2?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Mr. Sam.
I'm here. Good idea. I think there's something Doctor was trying to say, because there's money on the other side. I'm here in the UK now. I'm trying to provide something for government. Okay. See, there might not be the guys that we need to put together might not have money, but the other guy who needs them, they have money to pay. So we have people like Andela, we have people like Atlas and all of that. One thing I like about FI is that they are bringing raw talent and restructure the idea. I'm 100% sure that by the time it goes through FI program, by the time it will be done, this will have changed to a digital product. By that, you will see opportunity. You need to begin to see, check out Andela, check out Atlas School, check out some couple of these guys every day, ditch out talents every day. I'm making a lot of money from people like Facebook, Google, and all of that. So, and the market is there's still scarcity of talent. There's still scarcity of talent every day. So what I would advise him to do is that he has said, if you look at what he has presented in his own capacity, but you will see opportunity, you will see the market is big. The only thing that he should open his mind for digitalizing this product and looking for a way to make money from the other side. Because just like what Doctor said, some of these guys are very good, but they don't have money to even pay you. So you can do a pro bono arrangement or whatever it is, but I can tell you are in good industry, and I like his speech. It's simple, and at least he captured the two sides and he talked about numbers. So I'm going to give me a 4.
Okay. So you have 4s here. I missed the early bit of the presentation, But because I'm in learning and development, I'm a trainer, and I know that constantly when you create value, people will follow you if you're good at something. So, you continue to create. I would also want to know more about the product. So based on that, I would also give you a 4. However, if you take on board some of the feedback that you're giving, you would be able to create the value. If a 4 means I'm interested in being an advisor, you have not yet gotten your investor. So you still have more work to do that will move money from the hands of the people that will put in your business. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. We are making progress. Okay, we have Kehinde Obisonya. Did I pronounce it correct?
Right, you are correct. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, well, I can hear you, but I can only see a bright light behind you.
Yeah. My office is dark. They just took the light, and I can't go elsewhere except I do it here.
Okay. Are you wearing an orange shirt?
Yes.
And the window behind your head is very small and with small light.
Okay, except if I open the...
No, it's fine. It's just me. It was just in my head. Now the window looks bigger. It just looked like it was a,
It was a curtain at the background.
It just looked something from Prison Break.
Oh, hallelujah.
I'm just joking.
Hallelujah.
Anyway, I'm just joking. Are you ready to present now?
Right.
All right, let's have your pitch. Your time starts now.
All right. Unemployment is a huge problem in Africa. In Nigeria, 36 million or 18% of young Nigerians are jobless. 40 million are unemployed. Globally, small and medium enterprises account for 70% of all businesses and add over 50% of all job creation. I'm Kehinde Obisonya, founder 2FG. My company is developing a mobile app that helps connect investors, mentors, and young African entrepreneurs to create businesses that create jobs for people near them. I am a chartered accountant with more than 15 years banking experience, spanning branch banking, retail marketing, e-business, and treasury management. Our initial market survey shows that if we come into the market today, 80% of the market to adopt our products. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that presentation. Unfortunately, the power situation is not allowing us to see your face. Being gender sensitive, Madam Shakirat, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Did you follow the presentation?
Indeed, I want to be sure that I heard him right, saying he's trying to connect investors, mentors to strength
with entrepreneurs, young African entrepreneurs.
But you started talking about unemployment, entrepreneurs. It's not so clear.
So
am I to respond to that?
Please go ahead and respond.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead and respond.
Okay. The idea of unemployment is the fact that we are connecting young African entrepreneurs to investors and mentors to help them create businesses seamlessly, to create jobs for people near them. That is what we want to do with an automated self-paced execution process.
I don't have much to say on this, so let's say pass.
Okay, so are you rating or?
No.
Okay. The fact that she's not rating is a rating in itself. Okay. Mr. Samuel, any feedback on this?
Yeah, I think you need to work on the speech, because it's not, you're talking about unemployment, you're talking about mentor, you're talking about, are you trying to form, really not, you're not seeing, it's not synchronizing. I think you still need time to understand what problem is solving, what problem is he going to be solving, and how is he going to make money. I think you need to work on that. It's not just talk, and they have to relate to each other. I'm not talking about employment now, talking about mentor, talking about this. You still have enough time to think about your solution very well. I think you need to go and look at it again and rework your solution. I have something straightforward, please. So I think for me, I'll give him a 2.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Larry? Okay, I think he's dropped off the call. To be honest, once you said employment, that caught my attention as well, because it is a huge problem. I think that has potential. But then I got lost after the problem, after you talked about it, and you spent a lot of time talking about your specific experiences in banking. Within the 1-minute pitch, I don't think that's the highlight. That's the most important information that you should be putting across in your pitch. Yes, you have 15 years of banking experience. I think that's sufficient for a 1-minute pitch. And again, in terms of, is it the problem of employer-employee getting the right hire, or what specific employment challenge are you dealing with? I have also struggled to understand that. So I would give you a 2 as well. Dr. Lanre, are you back? Are you giving a feedback here?
Yes, it's a 2 for me as well. Because I really do wonder, this app wants to connect investors to startups, right? Kende?
No, not really startup, small businesses.
Yeah, to small businesses.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, if I'm looking for where to invest, my first thought, will it be around just using an app to just identify the businesses that I want to invest in? I think that decision making is much more than what an app will do for me. So for me, it's a 2.
Okay, fantastic. I think some of the feedback that in your office hours, you need to be able to look at and really funnel down your ideas to something that's, where you have something unique, you have a USP. Okay, so that will be all that we'll be taking for the hot seats for today. I hope that those that are not and have not yet been called to do their presentations, you've learned something and you fine-tune your own next week. Apologies to that, but our time is fast spent, and we're supposed to be looking at revenue sources today, the issue of revenue to help you as well. Thank you, mentors, for your feedback. I'm sure that our founders will take them on board, and we will see refined presentations in the coming weeks. So for the mentor presentation, Shakirat, are you ready with yours? I think we'll just be doing that in 8 minutes, just to talk about revenue quickly. Okay, I'm not sure Shakirat is here. Okay, can my presentation be shared, or do I need to join with another account and share from there?
Yes, we can share.
Okay, I have it on a different system. Okay, let me allow somebody. Are you ready with your presentation?
Okay, then let me go.
Okay, go ahead and then I can.
I have my people already waiting for me in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've done so well. Thank you, everyone who's listening. I'm going to try to talk more from my own experience. Okay, because we can always read out afterwards. So revenue is for me is a very, very, very interesting part of the journey of you starting a business, and how creative you are about your revenue going to determine how successful you're going to be. So the first thing is that what is revenue? Revenue is the total earning of your company, okay? Of your company by performing the normal operation, all the total income you make into your company through different model is now your revenue. I mean, the total money you're making. And revenue is very interesting because it's one that will determine the sustainability of business, sustainability, growth, and focus, and everything you want to do. So getting it right, we help you go a long mile. So let's quick one. There's one question. I try to pick everything in the guide that was given to us. So the first thing is that how do you survive pre-revenue? Okay, I'm going to use my so many models I started with to really help you, and I'll say I'll be fast about that. When I resigned from my first job, I needed to basically start a business, and I realized that for me to make money in the business I want to go to, I take a while. So what I did was I bought 2 keke marwa. I used my salary to buy 2 keke marwa and gave it to somebody to manage. So they were giving me 15,000 each every week, and from 300,000 salary, I was beginning to manage that amount while building my business. In less than 8 months, I got my first deal, and the story was history. Now, pre-revenue is something that you really need to think about very well, and it's a very sensitive part of your business because you can give up, you can decide not to do the business again. So you need to plan it. It's part of your business journey. It's part of your entrepreneurial journey. You need to plan it. Okay, so I also have another one that I also did. When I started Zido, what I did was that in fact, the company was not registered. I started talking to someone who gave us the first contract, and we used that to start the business. Okay, so now what are the strategic way to grow your own business? Don't forget, you need to survive. If you don't survive, the business will most likely not survive. So you need to plan for yourself, and you have to plan for the business. So there are different models. I've also have friends that started business. There were 2 co-founders. The other one was working, and I also have similar big unicorn that have that model, even Flutterwave. Some people were working and earning salary and sharing their salary with other people outside while they are focusing on the job. So that was able to sustain them to those striving time of the business. So that's a model. So you can strategically get a co-founder that one person will be working while one person is outside, and you guys see how to share whatever you earn, spending the time you're able to raise money and grow the business properly. Okay, I also have another model where people try to bring a co-founder who has some money that can take them through the gestation period as an investor and exchange share for that. And I also have another scenario where somebody plan for their business. How much are we going to need for this period? Okay. And how much do I need myself? Okay. I'll reserve cash. Okay. It's called cash reserve. I'll reserve cash for their business for that period and for themselves. And they were able to walk through the journey. The key thing here is that for you to go into any business, before you leave your job, you need to plan about your gestation period. If you don't plan about your gestation period, you can get stuck and you lose the drive, and it could be lonely out there. Trust me, it could be lonely. I remember my friend left my house because he doesn't want to share his salary with me. I was asking for free, but when he realized that I resigned, he left my house. So you need to know that you see a lot of changes among friends. So you need to plan by yourself. So one of the strategies I tell people is that when you are starting a business, see people who have similar strengths, okay? The first point is that reserve money, if you can, or reserve alternative business that can fund your business. Thirdly, get someone that can support you as a co-founder at early stage, okay, with cash. Another one you have to look at is try to make sure the skill set that you need at the early stage, your co-founder can do it by themselves. Maybe you need to code, you have somebody that can do coding. You need to do marketing, you have somebody that can do that. If you can have a lot of the skill required for you to do the business, it means that you don't do a lot of hiring. You're going to do a lot of things by yourself at the early stage. So you have to be intentional about every step you take. So don't just go and take co-founder because this is my friend. No. Does he have a complementing strength? Does he have some money that you want to bring aboard? Does he have some skills? Maybe he has contact with people that can give you the first set of business. Maybe he has technology skills that will help you develop the code. That means you don't need to look for programmers at the early stage. The more you can get the first set of people that will carry you through the first early journey, it's better for you because it could be lonely out there. So don't forget. So let me quickly run into the steps. Make sure you plan for your cash, get partners that you can support each other, develop together, and also have alternative cash flow. If you can, have alternative cash flow that can help you grow so that you don't give up. So that's the first point. Another thing that I want to talk about right now is different identifying source of revenue. In business, when you're starting your business, over time, you might not even know all the total source of revenue. But the best way is to even understand what are the possible revenue model you're going to have from initial and grow with that. Over time, your other revenue model is going to come, and I'll take you through different revenue model and to tell you which one will fit each industry as you go on. Okay, so what is revenue model? Revenue model simply means how your company is going to make money. Okay, how your company going to, and how do you choose the right revenue model? There are different revenue models, and the good thing I can tell you that a lot of companies use multiple revenue model. Yet, but you might get to know one, but they also have other revenue model within the system. So the first revenue model I will talk about now is revenue model, that's subscription-based revenue model. That's number one. What is subscription-based revenue model? Subscription-based revenue model is when you charge repeated fee per period, maybe monthly, maybe weekly, maybe yearly, but there's a payment that is made over time constantly. We have this kind of revenue model with Microsoft, DSTV, where they charge a certain amount. The good thing about this kind of revenue model is that it helps you to have to generate more income from same customer over time. That means if your cost of acquisition is usually low, because when you acquire the customers, their same customer can keep using your product as long as they are satisfied, and it's also a flexible kind of revenue model. Now, this kind of even with that, you still need to do your acquisition cost. Your acquisition cost will eventually be low. Initially, it will be high, but eventually, because these same people will be the same people you are using over time, and you will realize that your acquisition cost begins to reduce as you go in the business, because you are going to be retaining. So much of the work in this kind of revenue model is you're trying to retain your customers. If you're trying to retain the customer and give them more experience, is stronger, then your cost of acquisition will go down. Now, another kind of revenue model, which is number two, is transactional-based revenue model. That is basically selling goods and making money from the profit. So like you go to a supermarket and you want to buy a biscuit and all of that, whatever you buy, and there's a profit margin on it, that's transactional-based revenue model. Then we have a service-based revenue model. Service-based revenue model is usually a very easy entrance strategy. If you are providing, you're not selling products, and what you're providing, basically you are providing a service. It has a low entrance because you don't need to buy so much. What you need to do is to provide those services, and it could always have high margin because eventually you might not really be buying anything and all of that. We have, like where I stay now, this it's service-based. The cleaner there are service-based. The owner of the building has paid the cleaner to clean the house every 2 days. So they comes in and does clean. And these are, so you need to look at the model that works for you. But the good thing about service-based is that it's low cost, high profits. So you need to look at which one fits your business model. Then we also have another one which is called advertising revenue model, which is like community building. That's another a good one, like Facebook. But the only thing that you need a lot of resources building the community at the initial stage before you begin to leverage on them to begin to make money. But the good thing about it is that the initial stage can be expensive, but over time, the cost of acquisition drops. Commission-based is also another business model where you link people like Airbnb, like Uber, you link people per transaction and you earn commission. Those kind of business at a small scale might not be expensive, but when you begin to scale, you require a lot of cost of acquisition. But the good thing is that over time it drops. Your cost of acquisition drops because you might not need to do as much advert at the initial stage. If you look at the case of Uber now, they are not doing as much advert as when they started. They started with a lot of huge adverts because they need to acquire more people on the platform to be able to get customers to use the product and earn commission. But still now they are getting low because they built a strong brand and the cost of acquisition is dropping day by day. So I think those are the ones that are important. The other ones are donation. The other one again, that interest based. When you make money from investing, there's a dividends, and there's a franchise, there's licenses where you make money from giving license. But the key one that is one I've spoken about. So quick one before I go down to the further other thing. What is really important in your business model is to what service are you providing? And don't be fixed. I remember when we started Zido, when we were using Kamara to move people, we realized because the people were not willing to pay commission based, we changed it to subscription, and there was huge success. Actually, I got that model from a friend in India that is doing similar thing we're doing then. And I called her on the phone. I said, come. See, these people are not comfortable paying commission for these transactions. He said, so what we did, because when we got to that space, we're competing with Ola. Ola is another competitor in India. They were actually doing commission-based. But what they used to enter the market was to change their model to subscription-based. So they charge a flat fee every month and allow the people to use the app for that period of 1 month. And they were able to move a lot of people to their side. So sometimes model could be a strategy if you understand the market very, very well. The other thing that I want to talk about is unit of economics of your business. Basically, what it's trying to say here is how do you value your unit transaction, maybe per customer, maybe per transaction, the cost of acquiring that customer against the cost of your revenue, and vice versa, to say, okay, oh, I'm making this profit, this margin per this customer, all of that. So, and it is very, very important. And that is why I said in the business, and that's why I like the way a lot of companies are doing right now. You know, now you need both numbers and need profit. So what some people do in their product, that they try to create a product that attract more customers, attract more users, maybe a lower, and try to create another one that is a bit higher. So to try to segment their product, one to give them numbers, second to give them profit. A mix of that, and sometimes it's funny that people who are using the lower version, if they enjoy it enough, they can move to the higher version. So you can start by creating a low price product to get more people to use your product, and create another one for the next level. And those people that are the first level can also move. Another thing that people do is to also do initial free revenue model to get the first set of people to use the product, maybe for some period of time, and now begin to see how they can convert them to paying customers. So basically, revenue is a key part of your business. So you need to understand it. And I keep saying that a lot of people who are good with revenue make money. Let me give you an example. You took an investment from an investor. Maybe you don't need all the money that you're taking immediately. How do you invest the remaining part of the money to get some interest revenue, spending the time you need the other money? So your ability to be creative within your organization, with your revenue, you can build a lot of income revenue for your company. Thank you so much. I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. Excellent presentation, very apt for the tech space, okay? What we'll do is note down your questions. You can pop them up in the chat group as well, any questions as well, but we'll take the presentations very quickly and then run through the Q&A session so that we can manage the time better. Is that all right? Give me a thumbs up if that works out for everybody quickly. But if you have a burning question, put it in the chat group and Mr. Samuel will note the question, the mentors will note the questions and respond to them accordingly. So I'm just going to go ahead to share my screen and talk about, we're doing different aspects of revenue, and I will be approaching revenue from a slightly different perspective. Okay, I have no sound here, but let me just share my screen. Can we all see my screen? Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So fine. So we're looking at revenue sources and cash flow. I'm going to skip some of the slides and go to and probably focus more on the cash flow aspect. Okay. So a little bit about me. I think the introduction has been done in terms of what I've done as a social entrepreneur and my education. I have MBAs from the Grenoble Graduate School of Business in France and London Metropolitan University. And I currently have some certifications. I am a speaker, trainer, and coach, and I am also a member of the Student Mentoring Scheme Board of University of Abuja. So hopefully I have the right qualification to speak to you. And currently I'm a mentor here at FI and an entrepreneur in residence. So whatever your startup stage is as a startup company, whether you're at the bootstrapping stage, that's the pre-seed stage, the seed stage, or the creation stage, you know, it's early stages of operations, okay? And there's certain things that are key, you know. Mr. Samuel has talked about partnering with people with skill sets, you know, to co-found what you're doing so that they can leverage, like our SMS guy, Babatunde, who is a coder, would probably need somebody who is more of a salesperson that will help to manage the sales. So once you have that as the co-founder, that person becomes does more of the talking, and he handles the back-end aspect and things like that. But whatever stage that you are in starting business, we all need capital, whatever the stage is. And, you know, your first source of revenue I would say, first of all, is that before anybody believes in your business, they have to first of all believe in you. And oftentimes when we talk to entrepreneurs, it's the kind of person that you are, starting from your home. First and foremost, starting from yourself. Have you been able to set some money aside to do little things? One of the prerequisites for joining Founder Institute is that you have a registered company. There are so many people, I listen to so many people with ideas and they say they cannot even afford 10,000 naira for business, let alone the 60-something thousand naira required to incorporate a business. Yet you want a business that will do a turnover of $10 million and above. So you need to there's certain personality traits that you need to have. One of them is a saving culture. You must have your first source of revenue is your savings, especially since we're all in the startup stage. You have to, the sweat equity that you will put in there, it comes at a cost, and that cost is from your revenue source. And Samuel talked about it. He said he had to have that gestation period is no joke, because I started my own business without anything and it was hard. Okay, my only saving grace was that I learned and I'm quite good at negotiations. So I would negotiate. I negotiated everything from my office space. I negotiated and it was value exchange, negotiation all the way. But you see, it would be a lot easier if you have a threshold to start with and you're not hungry, because your brain power is what will bring in more money, and no hungry person can function well upstairs. So first source of revenue is, I'll skip the definitions, is your personal savings. And then we have business loans. You have family and friends, angel investors, and VCs. I'm sure you hear about angel investors and VCs along the way. So I would just talk to you to focus on things that will help you attract those other people. From personal savings, I've talked about it. You know, the issue is, how much do you have now? Is it enough to start your business? And how much of your personal savings are you willing to risk, you know, to be able to survive on? And so the best model is other people's money. And the first other people's money is family and friends. Because the family and friends, if you have people that will be able to support you, and first of all, it's your family. If your family cannot believe in you, then it's a problem. They will be the first people that will take a risk. Not because, even if they know that you're far behind, first of all, they know you better. And then secondly, they know that, okay, this is our family. Their interest is not just purely profit. They want you to do well. So, you know, if you have all those uncles and aunties and people that are around, thank God for our culture in Nigeria. Our concept of family is more collectivist, it's broader than just the nuclear home. So people those resources, you need to start to manage those relationships. You did customer management last week, right? Those are they are stakeholders, they are also your customers. You need to manage them because they can be a source of revenue for you. And so for business loans, that's where you get credit from the bank. And for you to get credit from the bank, first of all, for startups, you need to have had some level of success in your business before you borrow money to start. For startups, the risk is a bit high. That's why you want more of equity investors, people who will have a stake in the business, who will take part of the business. So for business loans, what the bank will evaluate is, first of all, your character. Are you credit worthy? Abroad, they have credit rating. You can check your credit score. There are certain criteria that you need to meet. But in Nigeria, the banks don't disclose your credit score, but they do a credit evaluation. Okay, little things like your bills and all that, you pay them on time. What is the likelihood of default? If there's a high likelihood of default based on your character or your behavior, even if it's informal gist that they hear that your character is questionable, the banks will not give you money. The second one is your obviously your capacity to pay back. Oftentimes, when a bank is going to give you a loan, they would want to know that your business can generate enough cash flow. And that's why I want to focus on cash flow. And that is going to tie to what Samuel said at the beginning, your revenue models. You need to do your revenue model in such a way that it will align with the cash flow requirement for when you get to the growth stage of your business. And of course, collateral. Whether you're working now or something, it's always good to have assets that you use as a fallback. There are certain assets that are applicable. Our culture, because of the way our people go and build a big house, a 30-bedroom mansion in the village that has no commercial value. Banks don't like that as collateral. So they like places where they can get value for easily. I was trying to get a loan from the bank. So I invited my account officer to my office, and we were having a conversation, and he was like, okay, what assets do we have? I said, okay, so we have a house. It's in an estate, and they're like, oh, that they prefer land in your name with CO4. They don't want a house in an estate. I said, how else do people get houses in Abuja now? All the lands are allocated. Why would I want to borrow 30 million naira from the bank just for working capital? Then I should now come and carry assets that is 200 million to come and give you because that's what you want. But really, their banks are so risk averse now. So they will collect an arm and a leg. And I was asking what the interest rates are. The interest rates now are between 28 to 30%. So for every 100 naira you borrow, you're paying back 30,000 naira, 30 naira. Every million you borrow, you are paying back 300,000 every year. So imagine if you're a business loan, you need at least 3 years. Multiply that 30,000, even though it's compounded as you pay down, which reduces. However, if you multiply that, you're still paying in the region at 30%. It's quite high. So you have to explore other forms of revenue. Only borrow when it's absolutely necessary. Only borrow when you have the cash flow to support it. And that's why I'm moving on to that. Of course, angel investors, you're here in FI. If you attend the FI thing, these are individuals that will invest. Their motive is profit. So again, your business model and your cash flow, anybody that is putting money in your business that is not yourself or your family and friend, they would be interested in your cash flow. They want to know how they will be able to get their money back and what their profit margin will be within what period of time. So the quicker you can make return and the higher the return, they look at all those things. So, of course, when you introduce your idea, you pitch your idea, this is just for venture capitalists, right? They will do their due diligence, look at the client, look to see whether you've done your job well. And that's why you're going through this accelerator program. If you go through this accelerator program, you'll be able to check the boxes that venture capitalists will look at. Now, these ones are equity investors. They're not giving you a loan at an interest. What they're saying is that I'm willing to share in the profit and the loss of the business, but I expect that you should be able to promise us a good return. And at some point, we will be able to exit investment. We make our own money. It's a win-win for everybody. Okay, so everything you do, you have to have that at the back of your mind, because if there's anything wrong, if your pricing model is not right, your cash flow is not right, or your entire business model, if there's once they detect a flaw somewhere along these lines, you will not be able to, they will not invest in your business. Okay, so you need to have that. So let's look at what cash flow is and cash flow management. Right now, I believe that for everybody here, we all have our registered businesses, yes? Is there anybody that, if you have your registered business, can I get a thumbs up? Let me see if I have everybody's attention. Yes, our businesses are registered. Okay, I see our businesses are registered. Do our businesses have bank accounts? Do our businesses have bank accounts? Let me see a yes in the chat box quickly. Yes, yes, yes. If you have your business as a bank account, yes, 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 in the chat box. Okay, I see some people have not registered yet. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So that's why cash flow, my time is up. I'm going to race through this quickly, and hopefully I don't know if they'll share the slides, but we can host office hours. So cash flow is so important because cash is king. Okay, it's a decrease, it's the amount of money that you have. In fact, it's possible for you, and it's possible for you to make a profit and have a negative cash flow. So your business might be making money, but you have a negative cash flow. In fact, right now, this year, that is the problem that we're dealing with in our business. Okay, we make money, but our cash flow is negative. So it's difficult to get any angel investor or a VC firm to invest in your business because, and so what are the components of your cash flow statement? Your operating activities, investing activities, financing activities, okay? Operating activities are your day-to-day running, you know, cash flow from your net incomes from all those revenue models that he talked about, okay? And some non-cash items. If you're doing a keke business, you know, your keke is a non-cash item. And of course, changes in your working, as your working capital increases, that's cash flow from operating activities. Let's say now your overheads, you're spending 100,000 a month on salaries and everything, and there are changes, you have more money and you can spend more. That's those are cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from investing activities. Now you have to have those things at the back of your mind. Also, I know I talked about it from a loan perspective, but you see, investors look at the same thing that the loan people look at. Those 5 C's and all that. It's, as an investor, are you worth the investment? Is your product, is your idea worth the investment? Okay. So, and you know, in our own part as well, you know, it's important that, because our people tend to also in Africa, because again of our collectivist nature, while it's easy to get support from family and friends to an extent, people will be a bit sentimental. You know that it comes with its own challenges. So it's important that we structure ourselves very well. So purchase of long-term assets, capex. So when you buy a property or you buy other things, sale of other businesses also. So if you have any other business, people in this space, you know, you see how the person that invested in Konga, he sold Konga. His name is Simdu Shagaya. Any of you knows him? So the person that started with Konga, he sold Konga and now he's doing U-Lesson. Okay, so that is cash flow from an investing activity. And of course, marketable securities. One of you spoke about that when you invest in stocks and shares and other things. Okay, so all the managing your cash flow are all of the decisions that you need to make, from planning, staffing, directing, leading, all those things as an entrepreneur you will do. If you are a tech person, you are the technical person, hire somebody that can manage this side of the business for you. Don't say you will do it all, because you will do yourself in. If you're not good at it, you know, managing this, is good that you put the right, when you have the best people to handle it, it frees your mind to focus on what you're good at. And so how you manage your inflow and outflow, that's cash flow management. And it determines your solvency, your credit worthiness, whether you're worth investing in, okay? And how you can boost. So this is a bit technical, it gives you what it is and all that. There's no time to go about it. Well, how do you know that you have cash flow problems? You have you can't pay your salaries. You struggle to pay salaries. You banks, you can't get small overdraft. Sometimes you need small money to just solve little problems from the bank. You have gone past that, or you have subscriptions that you need to pay, to pay your subscriptions or your creditors, you can't do it, or you don't have money to run the business, or you're not meeting your liabilities, your tax liabilities. And also investors would also look at that you are paying your taxes as well. So statutory compliance is a key component of managing your cash flow. You have to put all those things in place. And of course, these are, all the cash flow. I said to you there too, it's possible to be in profit and have a negative cash flow. So what are the benefits of good cash management? For you at this stage, for all of us, it makes us attractive to investors. And it's simple record keeping. How much are you spending? Records, okay? Have a way, because when they come and they look at your books, you'll be amazed. It's those little things. So I'm going to give you an assignment, okay? Print your bank statement. Even if it's your personal bank statement, print it. Look at your inflow versus outflow. See how the inflow is coming and see how the outflow is. 80% of the time, what we find out is that bulk money comes in, but the money goes out small. Now, cash flow management is for you to be able to time your outflows with your inflows so that there's no gap. There's no time that you have liquidities when you have money in the business where you have money problems. Investors are looking out for your ability to manage the business side of your business, of your product like this. Why are they looking for that? It shows that you can manage the business, okay? It shows that you are compliant. It shows that you are disciplined. Investors look at those things. So it's good that you know how to manage your cash flows. You will meet, there are a lot of litigations that come with tech businesses as well. So if you don't keep your records, your legal records, your cash financial records and other things, it can be a problem for you. It helps you to settle your obligations on time, and it helps you to be more competitive as well. So quick ways to improve your cash flow, look at your models, your revenue models and all that. He talked about commission-based structure and all that. Are you receiving money upfront or at the back end? Okay, and how much time? I know in brick and mortar business, they will say you get your money within 30 working days, 40 working days. So you put in the money. Those are the things that cause cash flow problems. So you have to time your revenues with your credits, with the services or products that you offer when your payments come in, okay? And always make sure that your invoice, with technology, invoices are automated, they are prompt, but sometimes, some products come with leeway depending on your pricing model, but you want to make sure that money comes in quickly as money goes out. That's the bottom line. Follow up consistently, offer discounts. It's better you get 60% of your money and cash in hand is better than, they say a bird in hand is worth 10 in the bush. So the small cash you have in hand is better than plenty cash that is not in your hand. Or try to reduce your expenses, the cost of running your business now, from little things like electricity, cost of renting a space. That's why in the tech space, people have co-working spaces and all that. Look for ways in which you will reduce the expenses that you have. It will help you. And pay bills on time. Manage if business is an inventory business, you need to manage it efficiently. Make your payments, deposit, use your bank accounts, make payments. Don't take from your business, okay? And when it's a business inflow, pass money through your bank account. Pass money through your bank account, because those are the things that your auditors will come and will use to do your financial statements. And that is your financial statements that your venture capitalist, your angel investor, anybody that is putting. And then when you start to make investments in business, have a balanced portfolio. There's in investment management, real estate is good. It appreciates, but it's not very liquid when you need money. So you need to have small investments in real estate, stocks, and other things that can help you, because cash flow is about liquidity of the business. So we can have office hours for people who are in that stage, but I think that's a bit futuristic. But for your investment decisions to manage your cash flow, you need to have a balanced investment portfolio. And that is all for now. I hope it's not information overload. I've tried to just put it so you know the business side of things, the back end of things. Thank you very much. So let me stop sharing now. Let's start for my own presentation. I'm seeing some questions here. Okay, I've gone over my time. Dr. Larry.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Okay. Just before Dr. Larry comes, I know our time is fast spent. We have only about 8 minutes. Two mentors have spoken. We have 2 mentors that will still speak. Real quickly, it's supposed to be 5 to, but tell in the chat group very quickly, could you share one thing that you've learned from the 2 presentations you've had very quickly, just to encourage our mentors as Dr. Larry prepares to do his presentation. You have something to share?
No, nothing to share.
Nothing to share. Okay, so you're just going to speak on the topic?
Yes, I'll just speak through it, yes.
You speak through it. Okay, so is there any, are you coming from a different perspective for Shakira?
Totally different perspective.
Okay, so let's have 5 minutes and then we can do the rest as like a panel discussion. They can ask their questions and we go back and forth. So Dr. Larry, over to you.
Okay, hi everyone, and I'm just going to be as elementary as possible. Samuel and Kate have done an amazing job, and I don't think I should keep you for much more longer. So I'll just go back to primary school. So what exactly is the revenue that we're talking about? Revenue is just earnings or income, okay? And I remember that in my elementary university days, I was told that revenue minus cost is profit. So revenue is the money that you make. When you take cost out of it, the balance or the excess is your profit. So if you think about this thing intrinsically, you would find out that the entirety of the revenue discussion we're talking about is about the customer and their behavior, right? So every time you mention the revenue, your mind should go back to the customer because it's actually the customer paying. Okay. I've been advised that I have to put on my video. I apologize. Okay, so it's actually the customer paying. Okay, so it's the customer that brings you revenue. Always remember that. So you cannot talk about revenue without talking about the customer. Okay, am I audible enough? Can everybody hear me clearly before I proceed?
Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Okay, and I'll just share, and I'm hoping that I can do this in about 3 minutes. And I'll just share very briefly my own thoughts, you know, about revenue, routing it from the customer behavior perspective. Because the truth of the matter is, so some might like to liken revenue to sales, and I agree with them. The truth of the matter is, if you understand what will make somebody spend money on your business, you have a very, very high chance of being able to forecast your revenue, okay? Or being able to forecast your income, or being able to forecast your earnings. 3 of them are the same thing, and I'm just trying to make this very, very elementary. So there are 3 areas that I want to just share with you this evening, and I want you to think about it after I have said it, maybe before you sleep. Just take a good look at the things that I've shared with you, okay? And I call them the 3 Ks, and I've shared this over and over again with several people in FI. So the first K that I'd like to talk about is and the K's represent knowledge anyway. So the first K that I'd like to talk about is knowledge of your environment. I'll repeat that again, knowledge of your environment. Okay, so the first K represents knowledge of your environment. And if you check, there's a way Abuja behaves between the 25th of the month till maybe about the 3rd or the 5th of the next month. Okay, you don't find too many angry people on the road. Okay, the bars are full, the nightclubs are full, the lounges are full. People seem to be happier between the 25th of the month till the 5th of another month, right? Why? Because that period salaries have been paid. Okay, so there's a behavior Abuja has between the 25th of the month and the 5th of the month. Guys, you are entrepreneurs, you must learn, okay, to study your environment, exceedingly important, okay? Likewise, you know, every time you hear in the past Donald Trump say, make America great again, you know, that statement has implication for the barber shop in Wuse Market, just in case you didn't realize it, okay? For those of you on the call, if you understand, you know, government is the largest spender in this part of the world. In Nigeria, government is the largest spender. So if you understand where government is spending money or where government plans to spend money, then you are no longer a learner. And that means you are a wise person. Okay, because if government is the largest spender, let's say, for instance, case in point, let's say government next year decides to spend, just rhetorically, government decides to spend 80% of its budget on agriculture, and you are into fashion business. If I were you, I'll go and learn how to make fashion, how to make farm robes and those overalls. Because it's government, if government is spending 80% of its budget on agriculture, then the fashion that will make sense is for me to go and learn how to make farm robes. Okay, so guys, you've got to learn about your environment. Okay, there's a way your street behaves, there's a way your city behaves, there's a way your country behaves, there's a way your continent behaves. Okay, and you need to latch onto that. The second one that seems very, very cliche, okay, is know your customer. Friends, there's a difference between the customer and the consumer. If you want to make money, you need to understand what that difference is, okay? And the easiest way that I like to share it is that the customer customs and the consumer consumes, okay? And we've been told that the rule of thumb is that in the short run, you focus on the customer, okay? And if I'm to ask any one of you, let's see, Balogun, why do you focus on the customer in the short run? I know I'm putting you on the spot. You didn't expect that. Why do you focus on the customer in the short run?
Okay, I'm focusing on the customers in the first run is because they will be the one to actually give you this revenue to push.
Yeah, the ones paying. Just keep it simple. Customers are the one paying. Okay. So why do you focus on consumers in the long run?
Because consumers are actually the one that are the ones to keep the traction to me.
Absolutely, you're right. You're right, Balogun. You're right, Balogun. So customers are the ones paying in the short run. Okay, consumers are the ones that will keep you in business into the long run. Okay, they are the ones that will make your payday possible into the long run. They are the ones that will bring guaranteed demand for your product. Okay, so like I said, the rule of thumb is focus on the customer in the short run, focus on the consumer in the long run. Dr. Larry, why are you confusing us? Sure, there are times when customers can be consumers. I agree with you absolutely. So there are times when the customer and the consumer is the same person. Excellent, Lawrence. Consumers are the drivers of demand. Good talk. Okay. So I've told you about the first K, knowledge of your environment. I've told you about the second K, knowledge of your customer. And by extension, I've told you the difference between the customer and the consumer. The last one that I want to share with you, which sounds cliche, is knowledge of your business. Okay, and I say this in all seriousness. Okay, is not all laundry outfits that wash clothes or that are responsible for cleaning clothes. Is not even all restaurants that sell food, right? Is not all schools that sell education. Okay, so if I'm to engage somebody on the call and I don't know, do we have a volunteer? Any volunteer, let me just engage you for 1 minute. Miracle, do you want to Okay, Lawrence, good. Okay, okay. So Lawrence, just unmute and then let's go just for 1 minute. Hi, Lawrence.
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, okay. What business do you do?
Okay, I'm into an escrow payment service.
Escrow payment service.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why?
Okay, because I want to make sure that when people transact online, they are safe, their money is safe, and whatever asset it is.
Why?
Okay, because this the problem has been going on, and until it happened to me, I never knew how painful it was.
Why?
I think the next phase of the why is what I've done.
Just try. Anyway, let me save a bit of time. So you need to ask yourself the 5 whys, and you need to be able, okay, to answer those questions clearly. Your business is not what it seems. Okay. So a lot of businesses today are selling convenience, and they think they are selling other stuff. Guys, it took me 13 years of running a restaurant for me to understand that not every restaurant sells food. Listen, if people go for fine dining, right? Are you with me? When people go for fine dining, they take the picture of food before they eat food. The meaning of that is that the look of food is more important than the taste of food. Okay? So you need to be sure that you understand what your business is addressing. Okay, if your business, if you assume, okay, remember the example that I gave you about a laundry. The minute you own a laundry and you start to pick clothes from your customer's place and you you pick clothes, you go to wash, and then you return it back to your customer, you are no longer running a laundry, you are running a logistics company, because the model to run a laundry is different from the model to run a logistics company. Friends, you need to think about these things that I'm telling you very, very deeply later tonight. So some of you don't even understand the business you are. You might be running a school, but you're not selling education. It might be ambience that you're selling. That means the customers are coming to your school because the school is fine, not because all your students come out with A1s. And that's how many of us have taken the decisions that our children go to. Okay, so I'm just going to stop at that, and I'll share one last module with you. So always remember the 3 Ks: knowledge of the environment, knowledge of the customer, and knowledge of your business. Finally, I want to share with you, there are 3. I don't know, do I still have 2 more minutes? Or do I just pause it there so that? Kate Ajuma, do I still have 2 more minutes?
Can we pause it here? Can we go ahead? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Just 2 minutes, he said.
Yeah, if it's just 2 minutes, I'll get it done. So talking about revenue, there are 3 pillars that business build their structures on. The first one is called product, the second one is called price, and the third one is called service. And let me just quickly explain this. Okay, when you see businesses that don't care about pricing, when you see businesses that are more focused on the quality of the product, they have used product as a competitive advantage, or they have used product as a core model for their businesses. I'm talking about the likes of Gucci. I'm talking about the likes of Mercedes-Benz. I'm talking about the likes of Rolls-Royce. Locally, I'm talking about the likes of Hilton. I'm talking about the likes of, I can't remember any other local alternative. Okay, but these guys have invested so much in the quality of their products that they actually will tell you that they are not for everybody. Okay, the second model is price. Okay, and I don't want to mention the names of certain companies. Well, I could actually mention, okay, of certain companies that have used price. Okay, you remember that milk cowbell when it came? The first milk that they were selling, powdered milk inside noodles. Okay, that was a company using price, okay, as a competitive advantage. The third one is service. So you can differentiate your business either by price, by product, or by service. I promised I wasn't going to do this for more than 2 minutes, so I'm just going to pause there, and then I'll probably take questions later. Thank you.
Okay, we will take questions later, and you book office hours, because I'm sure you've left a lot of us confused, including myself, and we need clarity on some of all those things, especially when you talked about knowing your business. So let's listen to, we'll have a Q&A session. Our time is fast spent, but it's good that you're here. Are we learning something? If we're learning something, are we getting value from this? Yes. You're saying you need more room. Are you people not tired? We've gone over our time. So let's give Madam Shakirat a few more minutes. She's going to say what, she's going to share a few things as well for a few minutes. And then we'll look at the questions, if there are any burning questions before we round up the session. But we'll also book office hours after now. Shakirat, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I actually quickly go pray. It was prayer time, so I'm back. Sorry, I couldn't come up when you called earlier. Well, I think another angle I would want to come from is managing our passion or emotions versus revenue. You know, it's very natural that as an entrepreneur, you build a product or a service and you're just so attached to it that you forget that the reason why you're out in the first place, it's revenue and probably revenue plus impact. So we must not, as entrepreneurs, get too emotional that we do not recognize when we need to pivot. The idea of, okay, looking at other ways of making revenue, making income around the main business on the table, or probably tilting what you had as a concept from the beginning to what is actually more sustainable or more viable. You would see where, because of one's emotion or passion for what you put on the table, you are not able to see other things around it. And it becomes very difficult to sustain. It's until when the business fails that you now see other people doing what you had wanted to do in just a slightly different way and are doing fine. It becomes too late for such a person to make the change. So I don't want to begin to repeat what other mentors have talked about, but I think an important thing here is ensure that your eyes are on the ball at every point in time, meaning the reason I'm here is ensure that I have revenue and ensure that I'm sustainable. And talking about pre-revenue stage, let me share a bit of my own experience. When I started, when I joined FI, all I had on mind was a platform to fund my business. Like I was trying to grow the business. I'd been in a number of sectors before now. And I told myself at this point I've gotten to, I want to do it big. I want to make it a resilient and a business that would outlive the funder. So I called a number of friends around and family. We came together with a platform and we were able to fund that quite well. However, with the FI panel beating back and forth, I saw how I could use that platform to actually do more than my own business and do for even other businesses. And I'm happy to inform you that the very first business is now incorporated as a PLC and trying to get listed on the stock exchange to do much better things. Madam Ajuma is one of the advisors for that particular business. So the platform that was meant to do one business is now beginning to even incubate and fund many more businesses. So basically, the summary of what I'm trying to say in essence is identify where you need to pivot and be sensitive to your environment, like not Mr. Sam now, the other mentor mentioned. Can you imagine me? That was my mentor. He was on
Dr. Lanre.
Yeah, Dr. Lanre.
Dr. Lanre.
The knowledge of the environment, knowledge of the products, and knowledge of your consumer or your customers, very critical. And that should always guide your decisions, not what you want to do. The products you're trying to build up, service, is not for you to consume. I remember a time I entered, I think, a space I wanted to get some stuff for a particular project. And the lady following me told me, well, I'm not a very, what's the word now? The colors that were attractive to me, she told me, sorry, this is not meant for you. It's not you using it. So you have to consider those that would have preference for those kind of colors that you do not have preference for. So in essence, you have to be very conscious of who is consuming what you are giving out and let that be your guide. I started by saying I wanted to fund SMEs, like I told you, not funding my own business alone, but funding other businesses. And along the line, I've seen myself tilting towards, okay, I wanted to grow wealth, right? bring your money, invest in these businesses and get ROI. But I've now noticed that I could actually still bring it in form of another buy now, pay later, such that when I pull the fund, I automatically have consumers of this fund. I don't know whether I put that right. Meaning I have people on this side that are looking for soft loans, that's a buy now, pay later platform. And I have on this other side, people who are willing to put their fund down and after a while get a return on investment. So in the end, I have a platform where the two sides are able to interact and make sense for everybody. So that's the little I have to quickly add now. Our time is really gone. And I feel that this may benefit one person or the other on the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Even I have learned, it's been quite a session. So, quick question, I'm going to take, time is fast spent. In the 2 minutes that we have before we round up the session, I would have a very important, okay, I see 2 hands up. David Ilonze and Ose Samuel.
Can I go ahead?
Please go ahead, David.
Okay, so while the mentor, Kate, that is yourself, was speaking, I was able to quickly re-strategize the feedback I was given during this session. So the target, the misalignment in the targets based, so the people who are targeting are those that already have these assets. They know about them. It's not new to them, okay? I was also able to sort of align that with your presentation about going to the bank and asking for a loan of 30 million. And everybody in Nigeria cannot own land. So what we're doing is these alternative assets like treasury bills, bonds, stocks, we're saying, you know what, you don't need to start going for ridiculous evaluations of land. You can actually come to us and we're going to lend you money against this thing. And the problem we're solving is the cash flow problem. Typically, they have these assets, but they don't want to sell it for one reason or the other. They just need the money for like, it could be like a couple of months to like, so that's that. So it's not really a question, it's more like a comment.
Okay, that's a good one. It's good that you're learning and you see, we were talking about it from your revenue sources, but you see, these are the things that you look out for in your own kind of business model. But then again, the thing with stocks is that there are highly risk stocks and there are low risk stocks. So when you're looking at some of all these, when you're looking at cash flow from investing decisions, you need to look at the liquidity and the risk factors as well. Okay. Thank you for that comment and thank you for the feedback also as well. Ose Samuel. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Okay. Is it my connection or is Samuel breaking? Can we all hear Samuel?
Not at all.
Samuel, I think there's something wrong with your connection. So could you please put your question in the chat box very quickly? And whichever mentor that you address it to would respond. While he is putting his question in the chat box, Emeka, let's have yours. Yes, he's saying he has network issues.
I wanted Dr. Larry to talk about the service. He talked about product and price, but I didn't get the point he was trying to make for service.
Okay, so talking about, thank you for your question. Talking about the 3 models that you can build your value proposition or your offering on. So I talked about the first one, the price, the product, the price, and the service. So service has to do with distinguishing yourself, okay, in the marketplace as being the one firm or the one company that has the best service. Okay, and usually it's not rocket science. Let me give you an example. In the last 6 years, I've not cut my hair anywhere else. I've only cut my hair in one barber's place. Okay, and you know what the barber does? Two silly things. One is that every Monday morning he sends me an SMS. You know, and this SMS, you know, is customized. And you know, these days a lot of people don't send you genuine SMS. The bulk of the SMSs that I get are SMSs like, if you don't send this to 20 people, you will die. You know those kind of SMSs, right? Okay. And you will know that this guy actually composed an SMS for you. Oga, how are you this morning? How is Dami? How is Derry? Take him easy. I know work is very tough, but just take him. You know, you feel good. Next week he's sending you another one. So for me, that's huge service. The second thing that he does is every 10 days, he sends me a silly SMS. Oga, time don't reach. You know, and the meaning of time don't reach is, okay, it's time for a haircut. Okay, so there are times that I get busy that I don't even remember that I need a haircut. My wife is a banker. She leaves home very early in the morning. She probably doesn't even have enough time to check whether I need a haircut or not. Okay, so silly things as small as that, okay, is service. And these are the only two reasons that I've stayed with that guy for the past 6 years. Okay, because for me, those two things differentiate him from all the other barbers that I've used before. So service is a key differentiator in case you don't want to use price or product, or you can use it alongside price or product. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thank you very much.
All right, fantastic. So back to Ose Samuel's question. I'm reading in the chat box. You can lower your hand down, Ose and Emeka. He says, my question is that I have had so much on mentors, but my question is, looking at a startup, can someone have 2 revenue models for a health service app? For instance, Uber. I think Samuel would be, is Samuel here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, could you respond to that, please?
Yes, okay, Uber for healthcare. You have 2 revenue models. Now, you can have one commission-based, you can have one service-based. It depends on you, but I think one could be the one that is known to the public, that is obvious. One should be obvious, one could be option. Because at early stage, having 2 revenue models might not be very good for a startup company. You can start with one, then over time, see how you can introduce the next one. You can do that, but I don't think you should produce the 2 at the same time. Start with one, study the pattern, and see if you need to introduce the second one, then you can go ahead and introduce the second one. But there are other revenue models that I can introduce that is not in the front end, like all these people that do loan. They make money from depositing those funds. Those are revenue models, but they will not say it to you. So you can have some internal revenue model to help you to generate more income that is not known to the public. Like Dr. Larry was saying that some people are doing restaurant. Most of them are doing real estate. I can call a lot of companies now that they've gone into real estate. They started usually by providing restaurants. Now they are buying their building and leasing other spaces out and using only one part of it. That's what is happening now in Lagos. So you find out that the restaurant guys, they are thinking that he's selling food. He's actually doing real estate. So you can have a lot of revenue model. You can have one, grow it to an extent, and see other opportunity within your company that you can create more other revenue model. But it might not be known to the public, but known to you.
I hope that has answered your question. Ose Samuel. There was one last hand that I saw. Okay, I think maybe your questions have been answered. We're going to be booking office hours as well for further questions and any other conversations that we have. But I think we have come to the end of today's session. I have enjoyed the session as well. I've enjoyed listening to your pitches. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing the impact that your ideas will make in not just our country, but in Africa and globally. Over to you, Lady Ajuma. I think my work here is done as moderator.
Thank you so much. You did a great job. So founders, thank you also. I see Lawrence saying I enjoyed the session too. Yes, that's been a very interactive evening. Okay, so I see also questions. Please, can we book Mr. Samuel? So Mr. Samuel, when are you setting up your office hours? So, well, Mr. Samuel,
MD, I'll do it today.
please. Okay, so when are you setting it? What against when? Tomorrow or
Against next week. Tuesday. Is that fine?
okay, next week when?
Tuesday. Is that good?
Okay, well, as they hot, so according to my people, as they hot, so that's and also Larry, when, all of you, please. Our mentors, the founders need serious handholding. And you know,
This Saturday for me, I think.
idea review is coming up soon. Saturday, okay. Office hours, either for Friday or Saturday. Anyway, so the mentor idea review is coming up in another 2 weeks. So after the next session, then we're going to have we'll take a break and then the mentor idea review. And so this will be the first level of, a major review to, for mentors to rate and, see, how well you have built your idea in over these 5 sessions. So those with weak ideas will based on the rating, it will lead to dropout, and then those who are properly well rated will move on. And listening to your pitches, only a few are still pitching well. You've gotten the feedback, so please, you have the template. Look at the example in the Madlibs template for pitching. It's pitching that will open the door for further conversation with an investor. So that's why we are being taught how to pitch. So between now and the mentor idea review, your pitching will just be for 60 seconds. That's 1 minute. 60 seconds, 1 minute, 1 sentence pitch. And like I said, 1 sentence can have up to up to 50 words, but let's contain it within 30 words, and you can capture. So this pitch needs continuous refinement. Okay, so please focus on that. Okay, someone is saying he'll surprise me, Babatunde. Okay, so I'll set up officers. You guys need to learn how to pitch on point, be on point. There's someone who is currently on point, that's Lawrence. So those of you that are in the same working group with me, I don't know why you are slacking. Just latch onto the guy, any of the founders, your colleagues that that is getting it right. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. So we'll be issuing some special assignments just to strengthen your work further. So we'll send that in the mail. And I want to encourage you to keep working hard. By next week, if we don't have your assignments delivered, we will not admit you into the session. So we have been a bit lenient just to make sure you settle into the program. But by next week, we don't see your completed assignments, you will not be admitted into the session. So you need to take note of that. So this program is just for 3.5, 4 months for you to package, your startup into a fundable company. So give it your best. So I wish everyone, a happy night rest. So thank you to mentors, ERI Kate, thank you so much for also moderating. Thank you, Shakirat. We love to see you, alumni. Thank you. By the way, we have two founders here who were in previous cohorts who are also, you know, one is David and the other one is Jamie Livingstone. So, like I also said, even if you drop out, you can always come back. So they are back again to fire on again with that idea. So trust the process, put in the work, and you'll see the results, the desired results. And we're here to give all the support that you need. Yeah. All right. So thank you, everyone. Samuel, thank you, Lanre. Thank you all. Hopefully, we all get to meet soon. We're planning to have a mentor meetup as well at the Stalwart Hub. So we'll let you know when, as soon as our plans are firmed up. And so, founders, good night. Have a happy night rest. Bye for now. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Dr. Lanre. We
Thank
need to
you.
connect. We'll connect on LinkedIn, Dr. Lanre, Mr. Samuel,
Thank
and
you so much, Kate. Good job.
Shakirat. Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
doctor.
let's connect.
Thank you, everyone.
Dr. Lanre, I should have you on one of our
Enricha.
trainings as well.
Enricha,
Yes.
I've not for you for a while now.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Yeah.